What up, guys? This is
Cheevo, guys!
back here again with another achievement guide. Today we're going to be focusing on LoveChoice. This game is a visual novel published by Ratalaika Games and developed by Akaba. This game is an easy 45-minute completion or platinum trophy, and on top of that, it's only $4.99. Now, these achievements are going to require us to get all 8 endings in the game. However, that's going to be really easy as long as you have a guide. Now, before I get started, I want to give credit to the written guide that I used to make this video guide. I'm going to link it down in the description below if you prefer a written guide. But yeah, shout out to Lilat. They posted an achievement guide in the forums for the game on Steam. Aside from that, the game does have 20 achievements in which we have to complete all 8 endings. The game actually has 3 different stories. The first 2 stories have 3 different endings, and the third story only has 2 endings. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to guide you through all of the achievements or trophies. Again, it should only take about 40 to 45 minutes. Now, when the game gives you your first dialogue choice, you actually want to ignore it and just interact with the poster on the wall. After that, you can go ahead and spam A through all of the dialogue. Unfortunately, this game doesn't have any features where you can fast forward through the dialogue like other visual novels published by Ratalaika. So yeah, this is why it takes about 45 minutes compared to a lot of the other visual novels published by them. Only take about 5 to 10 minutes. Anyhow, once you get to this area, you want to click on Twitter and you want to like all of the statuses. You're going to need to scroll down using the right stick and just make sure that you like them all. And eventually, after you like the final one, it'll pop our next achievement or trophy. After that, you want to select WeChat, and then you want to select the left dialogue choice. It says your boss is taking advantage of you. After that, we're going to need to wait until it gives us another dialogue choice. Next, we're going to choose the left option once again. It says no one wants to upset their boss. And next, we're going to choose the only dialogue choice available. It says, would you like to go on a date with me this weekend? Now, they're going to ask what movie you want to watch, and you want to choose the lower right-hand option, Sherlock Home Cut. It's the detective movie. Okay, so next we're going to end up in a mini game in which we're going to have to interact with the colored cards. We do not want to click the black cards. There's going to be a total of 11 cards we need to interact with in effort to basically get 100% on this mini game. And to unlock the next achievement, we do need to get 11 out of 11 cards. So just make sure that you interact with all of the colored cards that are dropping and don't click any of the black ones. Eventually, once you get to 7 cards, the game is going to change a little bit, and it's going to basically put a top hat over the colored card, and you're going to have to follow it and choose which one has the card inside, which top hat has the card inside. You'll understand exactly what I'm talking about in a moment. But yeah, you're probably wondering what happens if I mess up or I fail. Luckily, it does let you retry the mini game after. However, you have to get through the whole mini game to be able to try again. You can't simply just press start and then restart. You'll need to make your way through the whole mini game again to be able to press retry. And there's no penalty to retrying, so hopefully eventually you'll get it. Personally, I ended up getting it on my second try. Now this right here is the second part of the mini game that I mentioned earlier with the top hat. Basically, you have 3 top hats. Each of them have a card underneath it. There's 2 black ones and 1 colored one. Obviously, we have to guess which one has the colored one in it. So just make sure that you laser focus on the one that has the colored card underneath it, because it is going to try to distract you with different notifications and things like that, and you want to completely ignore them. All you want to do is focus on the hat that has the colored card inside of it, and eventually you'll get 11 out of 11 cards, and we can go ahead and proceed with the game. Now, once you finish the mini game 11 out of 11, go ahead and press the right dialogue option. It says I've had enough / quit. And next you want to choose the upper left hand option. It says Szechuan Hot Pot. And after that, you're going to unlock your next achievement called a perfect date worth 30 gamer score. After that, you're going to end up in this scene right here, and you want to ignore the dialogue options and interact with their hands. This should trigger our next achievement or trophy called Don't Break the Mood, worth 15 gamer score. From here, you're going to end up in a cell phone conversation, and what you want to do is come up with some things to talk about. So you want to click your cat on the shelf and then her cat on the floor. Then you guys are going to start talking about cats. Next, we're going to interact with his video game console right here and her video game console right there. What looks like an Xbox or a PlayStation and then a Switch. Next, you want to interact with his guitar and amp and then her headphones. And then they're going to conversate about music. Again, you want to interact with the guitar and then the headphones. After that, you're going to hold down the right stick until you end up seeing all of the clouds. From here, you want to match the clouds until all 3 items match. It should be the same thing for you, so just click on the ones that I clicked to match them up. And then after you've had all 3 conversations and matched all 3 clouds or items, it should trigger our next achievement for talking about everything in the conversation. There we go. That's the soulmate achievement worth 30 gamer score. After that, the couple's going to end up arguing, and what you want to do is just sit here and do nothing. You don't want to press anything. Don't press the insult button. We're just going to wait until this scene's completely over. This will end up triggering the forbearance achievement or trophy worth 15 gamer score. Next, we're going to end up in this scene where she's sitting on the floor and you're sitting on the couch, and what you want to do is drag your character next to her. And that's all we need to do for this scene. This will end up triggering our next achievement or trophy called Be a Listener, worth 30 gamer score. After that, we're going to end up in this scene, and what we want to do is interact with the trash on the floor, and then after that, the scene will end. It's also going to unlock our next achievement or trophy called Take Balance, worth 30 gamer score. At this point, all we need to do is spam the A button or the X button if you're on PlayStation to skip through the rest of the dialogue, and the game is going to end, and we're going to get our first achievement for getting the good ending in the first story, which is the love game story. The game has 3 different stories in total. It has the love game story, the love distance story, and then finally the love detective story. Now, we need to get the second ending for the first story, the love game story. This story actually has 3 endings: the good ending, the neutral ending, and then finally the bad ending. So we're going to work on the neutral ending next. And so we're going to dive into the first story once again. It's called Love/Game. And we're going to start this one off the same way. We're going to interact with the poster on the wall rather than pressing any of the dialogue options. Next, we're going to end up interacting with our phone once again. There's no need to touch Twitter this time. Just stay in the WeChat tab where you can check your messages. We're going to choose the left-hand option. Your boss is taking advantage of you. And then we're going to choose the left option once again. No one wants to upset their boss. And then we're going to choose the only dialogue option available. Now, this time when she asks about the movie, you want to choose the upper left-hand option, Steelman. It's the action movie. Alright, next we're going to end up back at the minigame. However, the game does remember that you got 11 out of 11, so we can simply choose to skip the minigame, the right-hand option. After that, we're going to end up back in the scene at the movie theater. We're going to skip to the dialogue, and then we're going to choose the restaurant, the same one as last time, the Szechuan Hot Pot, the upper left-hand option. That's going to move us to the next scene, where we went ahead and interacted with their hands last time. You want to do the same thing this time. Interact with their hands rather than pressing any of the dialogue options. Now we're back to the scene where we were talking about things that we have in common. Now what we want to do is just skip all of that and just press the only dialogue option available. It says, I gotta go. Now once you get to the insult conversation, you just want to go ahead and stay there and press nothing. Alright, so now we're back to the scene where she's sitting on the floor and you're on the couch. We're going to do the same thing as last time. We're going to drag our character next to her for support. Next, we're going to do the same thing on this scene as well. We're going to start off with picking up the trash. I start off with the trash on the left. And that's going to go ahead and complete this scene as well as the neutral ending. Alright guys, we officially have 2 of the 3 endings in the first story, Love Game. That was the neutral ending. Now all we gotta do is get the bad ending for the first story. So start back up the Love Game story. Alright, so in this one we're not going to interact with the poster. What we're going to do is we're actually going to press the first dialogue option. It's on the left hand side. So skip through the dialogue, and once you get your first dialogue option, press, hey, I'm XXX. Can we be friends? And that's going to end this scene. And once we get to the next scene, we're going to make sure we're still on the WeChat tab, and we can go ahead and spam the A button to try to get through the dialogue as quickly as possible. We're going to press the same one as last time. Your bosses take advantage of you. It's on the left hand side. And then after that, we're going to press the same thing as last time. No one wants to upset their boss. And then we're going to press the only dialogue option available. Would you like to go out on a date this weekend? Alright, so next we're going to get back to the mini game, in which we can skip it once again because it does remember our progress. So go ahead and skip that. And the next scene is going to be the one at the movie theater. We're going to skip through the dialogue, and we're going to use the upper left hand option, same as last time, Sichuan Hot Pot. Now, once you get to this scene, we're actually going to choose a dialogue option this time, so do not click their hands. We're going to choose the upper left hand option. It says, I like you. And once we get to the next scene and they're talking on the phone, we're going to go ahead and spam through the dialogue, and we're going to choose the only option. It says, I gotta go. From here, they're going to start arguing again, and we're still going to just hold out and just let the scene end. Don't press the button. Now we're going to end it back at the scene where he's sitting on the couch and she's on the floor. This time, rather than dragging your character over for support, we're going to leave him on the couch, and we're going to spam A through the dialogue. She's going to talk about her day at work, and we're going to tell her that her boss is taking advantage of her, the left-hand option. Next, we're going to click the left-hand option once again. Nobody wants to upset their boss. And then we're going to end up in our final scene. And rather than picking up the trash for her, we're going to skip through the dialogue and we're going to press the left-hand option. I'm so tired, I pretend not to notice. This is going to trigger the bad ending for the first story. Alright, our achievement or trophy should pop once we get back to this main menu. That's the achievement for clearing all of the endings in the first story, Love Game. And then we're also going to get the achievement or trophy for the bad ending specifically. That is the Broke Up achievement worth 40 gamer score. And next we're going to start up the second story. It's called Love Distance. Now this second story has 3 endings as well. The first one's actually nice and short. It's called the Far Memory ending. And all you gotta do is click the girl once. And then we're going to get the mouse away from her and just start spamming the dialogue button. And we're just going to press the only dialogue option. It says, "What a weirdo, just watch cartoons and leave her alone." And then we're going to go ahead and press forget it and keep watching cartoons. After that, you're going to get your first ending for the second story. You just gotta go ahead and skip through the rest of this dialogue until it spits you back to the main menu. And there we go, finally, our Far Memory achievement should pop. It's worth 30 gamer score for getting the Far Memory ending in Love/Distance. Alright, so we're going to start up the second story once again. So go to start and then press Love Distance. Alright, so our next ending is called So Far, So Close. Again, this is the Love Distance story, the second story. What we're going to do is we're going to start off by clicking her once. And then you want to drag and drop the boy next to her. Next, we're going to keep clicking on the piano as soon as the scene starts. You're going to ignore the choice and don't spend any of your money on the sausage stand. We're going to need to repeat this 3 different times, so bear with me. Next, we need to click all the music notes as they show up. Next, we need to click on the metronome to remove its cover. And then you want to hold it and move it to be able to rotate it. And you want to rotate it to where you can see the right-hand side, or I guess the left-hand side, depending on which way you're looking at this. And then you want to go ahead and interact with the wind-up mechanic on the right-hand side. I suppose you would call it a winding key. Next, you want to take the screwdriver from her hand. And then you want to flip the metronome and take a piece from the bottom, the little black square. Okay, so next we need to click on the piano behind her. Make sure you do not press the dialogue option. After that, during the piano scene, what you want to do is press A when the window border lights up. You're basically playing a song with her, and the border will light up with a white border every time you have to press A to play the piano or play your part of the song. No worries if you mess up, it lets you retry until you can go ahead and complete this part. Okay, next we're going to end up in a sort of calendar phase where it's going to show us different years in the upper left-hand corner. Now, in the year 2002, what you want to do is you want to interact with the calendar on the left-hand side, as well as the magazine and the CD box on the right-hand side. Again, the calendar on the left-hand side, and then the magazine and the CD box on the right-hand side. For 2004, what you want to do is you want to click the calendar, the cell phone, and the circuit board on the left-hand side, and then the magazines on the right-hand side. For 2005, you want to click on the cell phone, the book and the calendar, and the computer on the left hand side, and then on the right hand side you only need to click the radio. The next year is going to be 2006. All we need to do is click the music sheet and the book on the right hand side. Now, during the car scene, you're gonna have to wait a while, but we're gonna end up clicking the Ferris wheel. There we go, there's the Ferris wheel, go ahead and click it. Once you get to the amusement park, you want to click on the Ferris wheel once again. And we're going to press the dialogue option that says go for it. I know it's your dream. And that about wraps up our second ending for the second story in the game. Alright, the so far so close achievement should pop once you get back to the main menu. Again, that one's worth 30 gamer score. We're going to start back up the main story mode, and this time we're going to choose the second story just one more time because we have the third ending to unlock. So go ahead and select Love Distance. This time we can go ahead and select the last checkpoint. It says meet again, buy again. Now once you get back to the amusement park, we're going to interact with the Ferris wheel once again. And this time, rather than clicking any dialogue choice on the Ferris wheel, what you want to do is interact with their hands. Specifically, you want to click her hand. Now, when it sends us to year 2008, we want to click the magazine, the digital clock, and the radio on the left. We also want to click the music sheet on the right. When it turns to 2010, we want to click the digital clock and the radio on the left. And then click the computer and the Time magazine on the right. When it gets to 2012, we want to click the book and the radio on the left. And then click the music sheet and the computer on the right. Okay, from here we're going to have to select a few objects, so go ahead and drag the middle all the way to the right so you can see his full room. You want to interact with the window, you want to interact with the piano on top of the bookshelf, you want to interact with the bottom bookshelf, and then after that we can go ahead and drag it all the way to the left to see her room. From here you want to interact with the picture frame next to the bed, the calendar on the wall, the window, and then finally you want to interact with the piano. After that, that's going to finish up this scene. And once it pushes us back to the main menu, we should unlock the So Close, So Far achievement worth 30 gamer score for getting our third ending in the second story. Alright guys, so as you can imagine, we're going to move on to the third and final story in the game, which is Love Detective. It's going to start off by playing a match 3 minigame on your phone. You just want to play the minigame until the phone starts to ring. Now when you go to answer the phone, it's going to end the call automatically, and the person that's calling you is going to leave you a message. You want to interact with the notifications to check the missed call as well as the messages. After that, the dialogue choice is going to pop up and you want to choose to ask him. From there, you want to open up the fridge and pick up the plate. It's going to have a code on it. It says 584. And then we're going to click outside of the fridge to return. And then you want to click on the cat litter to clean the cat litter. It's next to the fridge. Next, we need to click on the stack of boxes to find a key. After that, we're going to enter the bedroom by clicking the door on the left. And then you want to pick up the clothes from the chair. And we want to click on the trash can. After that, we're going to enter the laundry room by clicking on the left-hand door. From here, you want to interact with the plant to water it, and then you want to pick up the laundry that's hanging up. And then we're going to switch our inventory to the dirty clothes and then interact with the washing machine. After that, we can go ahead and leave the laundry room. After that, you want to click on the wardrobe right here, and it's automatically going to put the clean clothes in. And that should unlock our next achievement called the Queen of Housework. For doing all of the housework while investigating the Love Detective story. After that, you can interact with the little nightstand with the drawers in it. You're going to find a little box that has a code on it, it says 201. You want to use the key that we found in the boxes to open up this little chest. And there's going to be nothing in the box, but we did find our next code, 201. After that, we can go ahead and click the red arrow to go back to the living room. And once we get back to the living room, you want to interact with this box right here. It's going to have a 9-digit code on the top of it. And we just need to enter in all 3 codes that we found, but in this order. Now, we want to enter the code 584-201-314. After that, the chest will open, and you need to start off by dragging the left arrow all the way over to the right. This is going to open the box further, in which you want to click the square in the middle. And then after that, it will give you a slot to enter an item, in which we're not going to be able to do that quite yet. So for now, just keep pressing A to fast forward through the rest of the dialogue. Alright, so now it's going to fast forward a few days, And we're going to start off with opening the fridge once again, but this time we're going to click on the note in the cake. After, we want to enter the bedroom on the left, and we want to start off by clicking the makeup table. After that, we're going to click the drawer next to the dresser and open up the small box with the key, the one that had the 201 code on it. Now this time, there's going to be a note and a pen. Make sure to interact with both of them. You're going to end up collecting the pen, and then after, we're going to enter the laundry room on the left-hand side. And we want to click the note on the wall. After that, we're going to draw a line between both hearts. And then this will enable us to grab the necklace hanging on the wall to the left. After that, we're going to return back to the living room and we're going to open the big box in the center of the table once again. We're going to enter the same code as last time, 584-201-314. Again, that's 584-201-314. After that, we're going to drag both hearts to the color point at the top, kind of like how we did last time. And next, we're going to click the box once again and place the necklace inside of the center. You need to interact with this part right here to be able to place the necklace. After that, we're going to pick up the phone and we're going to simply press the power button on the right hand side of the phone. This is going to trigger our next achievement or trophy called File Closed. After that, we have one last ending, guys, and it's pretty quick. All we need to do is start up the third story once again, Love Detective. And this time, we're going to just keep playing the match 3 minigame until the phone rings. And this time when the phone rings, we're actually just going to turn off the phone rather than waiting for the message notification. So just turn off the phone when it's ringing, and that's going to give us our next ending and our final achievements. Now, eventually the credits are going to run. Unfortunately, these are not skippable. However, I'm going to go ahead and edit through them. Just know after the credits, you're going to end up popping your final achievement for getting the third ending in the Love Detective mode. That is the thank you achievement. Let's just double check that we got the full 1000. Pop up the guide menu. There we go, 1000G out of 1000G. As always, I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of my Patreon subscribers. We just hit 16 patrons. I'd like to give a special shout out to everybody in the biggest fan club, including TimG84, AOJ, Kegger101, Kana25, Michael Banksa, and Purple Rain 6. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.